Panel, thank you very much. Mr. James, thank you for personally visiting our office. And General Semonite, thank you, sir, for your service to our nation. And thank you for honoring the men and women who have served us so well in the United States Army and of course, in both capacities, combat and with the Army Corps, sir. I want to personally thank you for actually being on site at Chickamauga Lock with General Todd. That meant an awful lot to actually see the progress. This, candidly, sir, has been probably one of the most arduous projects I have had to work on in Congress. And to the credit of Republicans and Democrats, of senators and members of the House, we actually worked together to reform the Inland Waterway Trust Fund, to properly fund the trust fund, and then to create a priority system. And Chickamauga Lock has clearly benefited from that, the new lock. You've done a great job keeping the old antiquated lock. Mr. James is right. Those old locks are old, and I've been in them when they're dewatered. It's tough, but y'all have done a good job. So thank you. If I may, since we have been providing funding for Chick and some ongoing projects in the inland waterway system, if efficient funding is provided, sir, until completion, when are we expected to see the new Chickamauga Lock completed, sir?
So, Congressman, if in fact there's efficient annual funding, we would predict December 24. And I would just go on to say that Chickamauga, for the committee's knowledge, is probably the poster child of how not to build something. If we're efficiently funding, we could have knocked this out in probably 3 or 4 years. What happens is we made a commitment, Congress did, over $300 million, and then it went dormant for 3 years with no money whatsoever. And it sat there as a block of concrete, and it probably lost the trust of a lot of taxpayers saying, why wouldn't we see this thing through? And so what we have to do is to be able to finish these, to be able to make sure we can get that one going. So this is where the committee's ability to give us adequate work plan money allows us to come back in and to be able to continue to be able to get those kind of projects done. And so, you know, we did 37 million a couple of years ago, 76 million last year, 89 million this year. And our guys are telling us the next logical increment would be about $90 million, 45 federal, 45 inland trust fund, and we could continue to be able to get that done. And that would be the 24 date would mean we'd have to continue to see money coming in.
Thank you, sir.